Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tomversation. For the first time, we're actually going to be doing something fun on the channel. This has normally been the therapy channel, and in a way, this is kind of therapy, just fun therapy. We're actually going to be watching the brand new trailer for the Ballerina, which is a John Wick spin-off, and I cannot wait. The Continental, which was another Amazon Prime show version of a John Wick spin-off, was absolute dog water, and I hate it. But the four Keanu Reeves John Wick movies are impeccable, and the Ballerina starring anadearmas is meant to be just as good. So let's have a click on Lionsgate, not IGN. Let's go to the official source, Lionsgate themselves, and let's watch. Let's watch. Full screen this bad boy. So we have a character set in the John Wick universe. There he is. That's the same mentor that John had. Lionsgate. Same studio. John Wick. Nice. This is a feminism movement I can get behind. Let's go. Eve. Norman Reedus? Vengeance. The reloads. Vengeance, okay. Nice. Evil villain with a flamethrower. Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dance, about a good choice of song. You're him. He is him. Baba Yaga. It's John Wick. Keanu. Let's go. Brother, give me a release date ASAP. I want to. Den of Thieves 2? Wait, what? What the fuck? What a random sequel. First of all, what a mad sequel. Den of Thieves, I remember watching that years ago in the cinema. That's crazy. But let's have a look at this, right? First of all, they've done. First of all, let's clear the air of some proper questions. Number one, is John Wick alive? Because if you've watched the end of John Wick 4, spoilers, John Wick's dead at the end of John Wick 4, and it's not been confirmed or denied his true fate because he kind of dies off screen. So we don't really know if John's dead or alive in the John Wick universe, but John is not confirmed alive in this movie because this film predates John Wick 4. I don't know which movie of John Wick's it predates, whether it's John Wick 1, 2, or 3, but it definitely predates 4 because he's obviously meets this character played by Ana de Armas, Eve, the Russian assassin ballerina, which is, first of all, badass. Like, I want to get into the nitty gritty of it straight away. Yeah, it's not a spoiler for John Wick 4. It's not after John Wick 4. It takes place before John Wick 4. I don't know which one of the John Wick movies it takes place in between. But it's got two fantastic, iconic actors already making a return, which is Winston and the guy at the Continental front desk. Who, actually, that actor who plays the receptionist at the Continental, sadly has passed away. He was also the voice of Zavala in Destiny. Really sad that he passed away, because what a legend he was. Winston, I can't remember the actor's name who plays Winston in John Wick, but a great actor. And Keanu comes back as John Wick, which is awesome. So we get those three returning icons, already fantastic. And we get Ana de Armas, who is a phenomenal actress. Just look her up on IMDb. She has a phenomenal a phenomenal review on IMDb. She has got so many great films in the catalogue. And this is where I wanted to get into it, like the nitty gritty of it. There are so many people who are like, oh, look at what they've done with Star Wars. Look at what they're doing with Marvel. Female representation, and people just shit on it all the time. You know, why did Rey get such a hard time? Why does Miss Marvel get such a hard time? Why does She-Hulk get such a hard time? And it's like, people don't understand. Like, there was controversy years ago about a female James Bond. People don't understand. You can have fantastic female characters who are unique. Rey from Star Wars, played by Daisy Ridley, was a rebranded female version of Luke Skywalker. It wasn't interesting. It was something we'd already seen 40 odd years ago, years ago, and just redone with a female character. Well, that's not interesting. Make a unique character in the Star Wars universe. Make a unique character in the Marvel universe. They've done so well with the Agatha TV show. I know there's going to be controversy around every show that Disney produces, but as an open, public, straight, male, white man who has a girlfriend of 7 years, who I've enjoyed watching content with her for the 7 years I've been with her, and I've enjoyed watching films, TV, and movies and games all my life. I've seen it done so well, female representation done so well, and I see how important it is in games like Tomb Raider, in games like The Last of Us, in games like Detroit Become Human, just to name a few, The Quarry, Until Dawn. There's so many female characters in those games alone. And then you go into like Horizon Zero Dawn and things like that. There are so many fantastic. Ghost of Tsushima 2. The second, I can't remember the full title, but it's not a sequel, but it's set in the same universe. The second Ghost of Tsushima by Sucker Punch that's just been announced recently. Female-led samurai. Like, there's going to be controversy in everything that the media throws out, and there's going to be like swings and roundabouts and people on both sides of the fence. I am very clearly on the side of the fence of, you cannot just take a male IP, strip it to like its bare bones, and just recreate it exactly the same way, beat for beat, shot for shot, with a female, and just tell everyone to love it. You have to cast a phenomenal actress. You have to cast an actress who is so captivating and so talented. Like, you don't just get a random man in a movie. You get Tom Cruise. You don't just get a random man in John Wick. You get Keanu Reeves. These are iconic people. Like, every role Tom Hardy has ever played, he's just Tom Hardy. It wouldn't work if it wasn't Tom Hardy. He's iconic. He's not just a man playing a role. He is Tom Hardy. Like Cillian Murphy as Thomas Shelby and Oppenheimer. It wouldn't have worked with other actors. It just wouldn't. You had to have them. You had to have him be that character. And it was like with the James Bond thing. Very much how John Wick has pretty much slapped that debate in the face and gone, listen, you wanted to take 007, a male IP who has been a main character in all these books and all these movies, and just do it beat for beat but with a woman, whilst poking fun at how silly a male James Bond is. First of all, that's a stupid idea. Don't do something if it's just going to shine negatively. Do something if it's going to add to the world and expand upon it. 008 and make her a woman, and she's had all these adventures, or she's brand new, she's a brand new agent, whatever. You can do it, and it's so easy. Star Wars could have done it so easily. The reason that Acolyte flopped, people are like, it was feminism, it was people being anti-woke. No, it was boring. It was a boring show with boring actors, and the men and the women in the Acolyte were boring to watch on TV. They were rubbish. They were rubbish actors. If they would have been better actors, we would have loved it. The brand new Alien Romulus film, I would argue that it's mostly female-led. Done fantastically. A movie that came out literally a week ago, The Substance, which is female-led. Brilliant film. Really good film. There are so many independent female IPs that we can get into that are done justice. And then when you want to share the space, you want to take something like the John Wick universe and take a spin in this new character's shoes. Great way to set it up. Young Russian orphan daughter taken in by this sick assassination badass cult of fighters, trained up to be a fighter, trained up to be a warrior, gets to go out into the John Wick universe and kick absolute ass. Also, tips the hat to the John Wick who came before, who maybe inspires in the way that this trailer pans it. She's inspired by what he does. She kind of wants to do her own thing similar to him, and has respect for him and fundamentals, but then goes off and does her own things that are all independent and cool and just They've taken a little bit of inspiration and they've ran with it, and they've run in the right direction with the right actress, with the right amount of writing and scripting and styling, and every bit looks God. It looks like a great homage to what's come before, and it just simply adds to that universe. I know that if this character gets 4 movies based around her stories, you'd have an 8-movie saga for John Wick, and you would be able to watch John's 4 and Eve's 4, and you'd be able to enjoy both of them side by side. And I think that's phenomenal. I think that's a really cool thing, because there are so many people out there who would just go, nah, it's just woman John Wick, it wouldn't work, it's rubbish. I think they do this perfectly. I think they do it perfectly, and I think they make it gorgeous and stunning and captivating and just as interesting, and I'm just as hyped as I was for the very first John Wick film. Going in completely blind to John Wick and seeing the trailer for the first time, I'm just as excited for the first John Wick movie as I am watching her first trailer. So she's done a good job, the writers have done a good job, the director's done a great job. I think it's phenomenal, and it's in theaters June 6, 2025. I can't wait. I'm so excited, I can't wait. June 6, 2025. From the world of John Wick, Ballerina, in theaters, June 6, starring Anadearmas and all these other people. See, all these other people, by the way, I'm not really named. Lance Reddick, I think, is the man who was the casino, is the, what's it called? The Continental desk guy who passed away. I think that's Lance Reddick. You know, you've got like Norman Reedus, Ian McShane, who I think is the boss man, and Winston is Ian McShane, and then Keanu Reeves. And look at how they've done it. They've at the start, starring anadearmas, and then a list of a bunch of people's names. They've got Norman Reedus in there, Lance Reddick, R.I.P., Ian McShane, and Keanu Reeves. And even the way that they've ordered that, perfect. But I don't really mind that they're in it. I think it's great that they're in it, and it'd be lovely to see Lance back on screen again. Maybe for his last ever time on screen. I don't know how much content they've got with him, but it was lovely to see him on screen again, because what a great actor he was, and what a good contribution he gave to the thing. Oh, there you go. It even says it down here. Look, it takes place during the events of John Wick Chapter 3. That's crazy. So it takes place in John Wick Part 3. So you can watch John Wick 1, John Wick 2, John Wick 3, this, and John Wick 4, or John Wick, or this, and then John Wick 3, and then John Wick 4, and it kind of all bleeds together, and it all kind of makes sense. But this is the right way to do it. This is 100% the right way to go about it. This is phenomenal. This is perfect. That is exactly how they should do it. That is exactly the way that they should be making these types of movies, and they've absolutely smashed it. I give it a Tom Origins steal of approval and a Tomversation steal of approval. It's a one in a kind, and I think it's great, and I think it's brilliant, and I think they've done a great job. So please, please, please go and support this in theaters. June 6th, I will be there day one in IMAX if it's available, and I will love to watch this, and I cannot wait. It's phenomenal. I think they've done it perfectly. If you're a young woman out there, you love your action movies, you've got another fantastic role model to add to your list of amazing characters. Smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. God love you. See you in the next one. Peace.